Well, hello again, friends. I took a couple of weeks off, you may have noticed, from this project due to just some big things, being examined at Presbyterian, preaching last week, and also getting a little bit sick in between those two things. But we are back, and we are ready to tackle question and answer 23 in the new City Catechism together this week. So let's dive right in. All right, question and answer 23. Question: why must the Redeemer be truly God? Answer: that because of his divine nature, his obedience and suffering would be perfect and effective, and also that he would be able to bear the righteous anger of God against sin and yet overcome death. Okay, that's your answer. And so, because it's been a while, let's just do a brief recap of some of the ground that we covered when we were last together. We discussed the fact that Jesus Christ is the one and only Redeemer of the people of God, that in order to accomplish that redemption, Jesus, the eternal Son of God, the second person of the Trinity, had to become truly human by taking a full human nature on himself, being born of a human woman through the power of the Holy Spirit. And since then, Jesus has these two distinct natures. He is one person, but he has these two natures. He is fully God and he is fully human, or truly God and truly human, as the language of this catechism says. And last time we were together, we discussed why Jesus had to have a true human nature in order to accomplish our redemption. But this week we're going to be tackling the opposite question, which is why he had to retain his nature as truly God in order to accomplish our redemption as well. So that's the question. He needed to be both truly God and truly human in order to accomplish our redemption. Why? Okay, so our answer first says that Jesus needed to be fully God in order to fulfill all the requirements of God's law perfectly in his in his life and death. We spent a great deal of time earlier exploring the reality that no mere human being could ever fulfill the requirements of God's law perfectly, right? And so the simplest and most obvious answer as to why Jesus had to be truly God, as well as truly man, is that he needed to be so in order to fulfill the law of God perfectly. No mere human being could do that. But our answer continues. There's more to it. Our answer also says that Jesus had to be truly God in order to be able to withstand the wrath of God, and also to overcome death. And so, again, no mere human being could ever survive the outpouring of God's wrath against sin, right? And in order for God's wrath to be fully satisfied, it needed to be fully poured out. And there's simply no way that either you or I could ever survive that or come back from that. We would have been utterly destroyed. And in the same way, linked to that is the fact that he had to overcome death, right? In the same way, neither you nor I nor any mere person can defeat death on our own. We're simply incapable. Once we're dead, we're done. We are not capable of doing anything. We have no power anymore. But when Peter preached his famous sermon at Pentecost in Acts 2, he said this. This is Acts 2, verse 24. He says, God raised him up, talking about Jesus, loosing the pangs of death, because it was not possible for him to be held by it. Death could not hold him. Death's grip was broken because you cannot kill God, right? Death's power was destroyed because Jesus is infinitely more powerful than death, right? And that's the final reason why Jesus, as our Redeemer, had to be truly God. All right, and now Because of this, because he broke the chains of death and rose in victory, all of us who are joined to him in faith, by faith, share in this victory. This is what I was preaching about this past week in church. Death no longer gets to have the final word in our lives. We have an eternal inheritance waiting for us with him in glory. How awesome is that? All right. That's it for this week, guys. I'll see you back here next week.